I'm a 25-year-old female and have been living in Japan for a few years now, and one thing I have quite often are stalker encounters. It seems that in my area, or anywhere that isn't a big city now that I think about it, Japanese men can become quite obsessed with foreign women, especially fair-skinned, blonde-haired, blue-eyed foreign women such as myself. I've dealt with quite a few situations where I was sure I would be kidnapped. One such encounter was back in 2013 when I was in my third year of university. The following was a very brief encounter, but a terrifying one nonetheless. I was studying abroad at a school in Saitama, making a lot of friends and having the time of my life. I joined the a cappella club and had a group that I sang with. Together there were 5 of us. They were all men, which made me uncomfortable at first, but we blended well together and they felt more comfortable singing English songs with me there to help with pronunciation and whatnot. One day after practice was finished, my group invited me to go shopping with them at a local supermarket to get things for a nabe party. For those who don't know, nabe is basically a hot pot. You get a bunch of veggies and some meat, then you put a big pot on a little portable gas burner and everybody gathers around and eats together. It's a huge part of Japanese culture and a great way to hang out with friends. I was ecstatic that they invited me. I was usually left out of things at first because I was an outsider, whereas they had known each other since their freshman year. Over the few months that we had been singing together though, they'd grown to be like a family to me, each one like an overprotective big brother. Especially a guy named Kazuke. He was tall and a bit on the heavy side, but he was extremely charismatic. Whenever he saw me fumbling around, nervous or confused, he'd quickly appear by my side and throw a heavy arm around my shoulder, practically knocking me over while asking, "What's the problem, Tani-chan?" Anyway, the nabe party. We all went to our friend's house for the party and ended up drinking and talking until pretty late. When my phone in my pocket vibrated to tell me I had low battery, I finally saw the time and realized it was already 4 a.m. The guys were getting ready to nap until the train started back up, but I was only a 30-minute walk away from my share house. I announced that I was leaving and started packing my stuff up. Kazuke offered to walk me home, but I told him I was fine. The sun would be rising soon. Japan has an early sunrise, and it really wasn't that far. The cold would kill me before the walk did, I joked. They reluctantly agreed and saw me off, demanding I call them if anything happened. I made it to the station safely, marking the halfway point home. I descended the stairs to see a single car parked outside with a man leaning up against it, staring straight at me. It wasn't anyone I knew. He was older than me, in his mid-30s, maybe early 40s. His head turned, watching me as I walked down the stairs. Feeling uncomfortable with the unwanted attention, I rushed my pace a little, rubbing my hands together to fight the sudden chill that overcame me, though I was pretty sure it had nothing to do with the cold. I crossed to the other side of the street, avoiding him as best I could. I avoided looking at him as well, but I heard the car door slam and the engine start up. Headlights illuminated me and he turned to drive alongside where I was walking, his window rolled down. "Hey," he said in Japanese, "are you alone?" I said nothing. "Where are you going? Do you speak Japanese?" I quickened my pace. "You're pretty, let's hang out." I began power walking. The sluggish tiredness from the party was quickly being replaced with adrenaline. He pulled ahead and I thought he gave up, but his car stopped not far ahead and he put it in park, getting out. "Let's go home together." He was standing about 10 feet ahead of me. I stopped so I wasn't walking closer to him. "Let's go home together," he repeated a little more forcefully, stepping toward me. "Get in my car." I didn't have much time to think. I quickly turned left and sprinted to the park. There were only 4 entrances, all of which a car could not enter. It was a traditional Japanese-style garden with tall bamboo trees and a pond of koi surrounding a gazebo in the middle. The man was in a no-parking zone, so he couldn't leave his car alone. I heard him curse under his breath and jump back into the car. I pulled out my phone, immediately calling Kazuke. Just my luck though, he didn't answer. I tried the rest of my group, no one answered. I looked at the next exit just in time to see his car crawl by slowly, his head sticking out the window searching for me as I hid behind a grove of bamboo. Trembling in fear, I tried again and again with no success to reach the guys. I looked repeatedly at my 4 exits, always seeing him crawl by. He was circling the park, waiting for me to walk out so he could talk to me again, though I had a feeling talking wasn't really what he wanted to do. Just as I was about to cry, my phone lit up dimly with a phone call from Kazuke. "What's the problem, Tani-chan?" he said jokingly. The other guys in the background were still joking around. In a rush of breath, I explained to him my current predicament. Though he didn't say a word the entire time, I could practically hear the smile leave his face. The rest of the group had quieted too, and I heard one say, "What's going on? Is she okay?" He told me to stay where I was and that he was on his way. But I was already 20 minutes away, and I wasn't sure that I had 20 minutes before the guy parked his car and came into the park to look for me. I looked behind me again just in time to see him drive by that exit slowly looking through. That's it. I'm cold, I'm tired, I'm scared. I want to go home. I'm going to run after he passes the next exit and turns the corner, I explained. No, he said. Wait for me. I can run and be there soon. But Kazuke wasn't a runner. I didn't think he could get there any faster than I could. He started to say something more, but my phone suddenly went dark. Dead battery. No turning back now. I waited a few seconds and there he was, right on schedule. He crawled by the exit, then stopped. My heart was pounding so hard I was sure he could hear it, but he looked hard and slowly around. The sun was starting to come up now and he had a better view. It really was now or never. He slowly moved forward. I crept out of my hiding spot and moved toward the exit. I poked my head out and saw him turn the corner. I sprinted toward my house and didn't look back. I was too scared to. I don't know if he saw me and I was too fast to follow or what, but I didn't ever see the guy again. I immediately put my phone on the charger and called the guys back to let them know I was okay. But Kazuke never let me walk home alone in the dark again. Thanks so much for watching. If you have a true scary story that you would like featured in one of our future videos, send us an email at themidnightfoxofficial@gmail.com. Our contact information will be in the description below. If you like this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications to make sure that you don't miss out when we post new content.